Hello, hello. The world is falling apart. So let's do a journal planner walkthrough because what else are we going to do? It is so crazy and awful out there. So, okay, you're going to be so proud of me. I have a big girl set up right now with a proper iPhone stand with a little light. So hopefully you won't be seeing um, you know, you're not gonna be watching videos of me dropping my iPhone on my face, as typically is the case for me. Maybe you'll miss that. I don't know. Um, but here we go. So last year, I did a planner video in which basically I shared my anxiety and drama over which planner to use. Previously, last year, I used the Paper Republic uh, planner, which I thought was great, except for towards the end of the year when my life got really busy. I found that it was not big enough for me. I was missing, specifically, I was missing monthly spreads. And then also, I just needed some space for note taking within the planner itself. So, after much drama and research, I ended up going going with a Hobonichi Cousin planner. You can hear my dog trying to go in and out of the room, as always. So that's actually what I'm going to be showing you today. I've been using it for a couple of weeks now, and it was a rough start for me, but I'm actually starting to find my groove with it, and I wanted to show you that journey because I think that there's just a lot of people out there who, like me, are just so fascinated by the Hobonichi world, and everybody's like beautiful, gorgeous setup, but you're finding yourself being like an ordinary human, not an artist, and struggling to like figure out how to make it look nice. I think that what I'm finding out is just like simple ways to make it functional, to have this planner be extremely functional, which is the primary thing that I'm after, and also have fun with it. And that's sort of where I want to start. So the first thing you'll see is that I picked this cover, which is one of the more whimsical, playful ones. And I did that on purpose because I have a big girl corporate job. And sometimes I feel like, I don't know, things get too serious. And I kind of love showing up to um, meeting with older dudes with my cute planner. I don't know, for some reason that feels rebellious to me and it just gives me a lot of joy. So that's why I picked that cover. And I also have the um, plastic protective cover around it because I'm a dork. Um, the journal has these pencil rings. What do you call this? Pencil holders, pen holders on the side. There's one in the front and one in the back. And I have two sets of similar utensils, just different color schemes in each one. I have a gray Mildliner, I have a gray LePen, and then I have this like raspberry red LePen. So this is my main. When I do a spread that's in these kind of color scheme, it's like gray on gray, and then this is my accent color, and then this one in the back is warm kind of pale beige with a brown pen and the burgundy highlight color. And I will let you know, I'll show you kind of when I start getting into the pages why I've ended up with these two sets. So the first layout that the Hobonichi gives you is this one, and I haven't figured out a way to use it. I track my habits um, on my weekly page, and that makes more sense to me. Um, this is an alternative to that tracker. I'm not good at tracking habits, so it's almost like a moot point for me, but maybe I'll change it at some point. Okay. So this is my monthly page. I did December and then I have done January. Um, so you can kind of see how I'm using this one. It's mostly, this is like my high level view of the month. And this includes my big work assignments, work travel, big deliverables. It includes birthdays that I'm putting in a different color. It includes like a reminder to give my dog her meds and doctor's appointments, travel, just things like that. So these are just like events, appointments, big deliverables. And this spans across my Substack, personal life, and work things. Okay. Something to point out that I noticed fairly quickly, and I kind of struggled a little bit, is like figuring out where in the box to start because some days, as you can see, I have nothing, and some days I have many things. Tuesdays are apparently the craziest day of my week. And then, so I'm still kind of trying to figure that out. Something else I noticed is that as I started adding um, events as the week or kind of as the month progressed, I was using different pens. And even though there's the same type of pen, I don't really love all of the different colors. So that's how I ended up deciding, okay, well, which colors do you like best? And these are the two color schemes that I find the most aesthetically pleasing. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a moment. But that's sort of the type of thing that I'm learning about it. And then, as you can see, I'm really wanting to make these fun and cute for myself, but also I do not have a whole lot of time. I mean, no time at all, to be honest. And just kind of wanting to do something that's like easy and practical for me, um, but not that time consuming and does not require like a whole like art session for me. So I I just like went to a stationery shop here in town and decided to pick a family of stickers that can last me, throughout the year. So I have a bunch of these Mindwave stickers. They're very um, is the brand. There's quite some variety, and I'm just like picking. They have a lot of other options too, but I'm just picking what I like, and I'm kind of picking them as a family so I can kind of use them throughout the year. So I love their florals. I love the little stars. I am obsessed with their little people. I think my friend Nikki likes these as well. They have people. They have this one is like a sheet that's called Relax, and it includes a lot of people reading books and hanging out, which I love. I find it appropriate to my life. And then there's these ones that are like restaurant and like coffee shop life related. Super adorable. So anyway, so I have these kind of in the back of my pocket, and I use them to decorate with them. I use them in these spreads, but I also use them in the weekly and the daily, which I'm about to show. Okay, so that's that. Is I have pre-filled um, the rest of the year with birthdays, a little bit of Substack kind of dates that I am trying to hit. I have my Substack book club at the end of March, things like that. Board meetings, Mother's Day, just key dates, and I mean nothing special. Then I realized as I was writing um, friends and like little kid friends' birthdays here, so I was writing the dates of the birthdays, and I was writing Colette's birthday, um, for me's birthday, and then I realized no, you don't need to say so and so's birthday. The color of the ink itself communicates that it's a birthday. So starting in July, I now just say Olivia, Cecile, Mom, Ivana, and I just put their names. And just by virtue of the fact that this is this kind of bright red color, I know that it's their birthday. Just things you learn as you kind of go along. Um, and so on and so forth. So some of the months are very filled in and some of them are pretty basic, but this is where my travel goes. It's essentially like a family calendar, all of the things. And the reason why, I don't know if you guys remember me saying this from before, but the reason why I'm doing it this way is that I realized that for me personally it makes sense to have all of my things in the same calendar, the same planner, because it's all me, even though it's different parts of my life, and I maintain boundaries between work and family and personal projects. At the same time, it's all me, and I'm trying to fit all of this stuff on the same um, on the same week within the same 24 hours. So when I have it this way, I can kind of plan around myself. So I don't overcommit socially on weeks when I have major deliverables at work. I don't try to schedule too many meetings if I can on days I publish on Substack, because I get like really, like, my adrenaline gets really high and I just feel crazy. So things like that. All right, let me just move on to the next set of layouts, and it's the weekly layout. So this is the first one. The first week of January. I was traveling, so I barely used it, but I made my little tracker. This is how I like to track my habits. This is something that, like, a little way of doing it that I kind of invented for myself last year, and I was drawing them into my paper planner. I just like them and they're cute, and especially with these little figure stickers, I just think it's adorable. And I do it, at the beginning of the week, and I track on this day sometimes because I kind of go back and backfill it. I'm tracking only two habits: exercise and taking my supplements. Failing kind of on both. This was a good week because I was on vacation, and then it all goes down from there. This is my first week, and again, you can kind of see how I'm just trying to figure out, you know, am I time blocking? Am I trying to kind of adhere to the time grid? Not fully. Like, I put my stuff in kind of chronological order, but I'm not trying to match the little time notches here. It's just too small for me, but it still works this way. Um, I'm adding a little bit of decoration, and I'm just loving it. And subscriber Zoom, and I have like a little notebook sticker here, and a team dinner, and have people chatting. I started adding these little stickers at the very top, and I think they look so cute together. Um, but I like this page and I don't like this one because I think they're just kind of more uniform. And then I was like, oh, dum dum, you actually need a washi tape if you want to do this. So instead of wasting all of my stickers, like, I just ordered some washi tape. I haven't received it just yet. But yeah, I'm trying not to be like too crazy decorative because ain't nobody got time for that. But also, I'm really loving just playing with this. And something that I think we don't talk a whole lot in the planner community is that the act of doing this is just so creative. Like, just doing your pages and like writing in your notebooks and like playing, using your nice pens and like using your stickers. I mean, for me, as somebody who's in like a full day of meetings back to back all day, and I feel like a lot of my conversations are like about, you know, projects that are going to shit or whatever. It's just so nice to have this little respite of creativity and just have a micro moment of joy by looking at your pages. I think that's just not talked about nearly enough. But this is how these pages are coming across. Again, I am finding out that the more I love this page, I don't love this one as much because I have more different colors of inks, and this looks visually kind of cohesive to me in a way that I really like. So that's why I'm creating these kits for me that are like, okay, grab these or grab these, but stay within the same color for the page, just so that it can all look more cohesive. This is my current week. I put those flowers at the top, and this is what actually made me realize, no, you just need washi tape. It's fine. They're cute. It doesn't matter. But the page itself is mostly in green, and it looks nicer to me when it's the same color. So these are my primary kits, but sometimes I grab like a green one or a different color from my desk. You guys, I'm going to see Kamala Harris in talking about her new book, at the Orpheum here in Memphis on Thursday night. I'm really excited about that. And here is my tracker for this week. How cute is this? I love it. Yeah. Walking and meds. That's what I'm tracking. So that's that week. And now I'm going to move us into the daily pages, which I wasn't quite sure how to use, but I'm really happy about what I'm doing so far. So at the beginning of the month, Hobonichi gives you this month blank page, and people use this in different ways. Here's what I do, and this is the like really practical part of this for me. I bend the page in half. I write personal on this side. This is my job on the other side. And I have this like single kind of ongoing list of things that I have to do throughout the month. And as new things come up, I just add them to the list. The idea is to have one source of truth. Instead of writing a little bit of to dos here and then a little bit of to dos on the next day, this is the one place where I keep it all together. And then as I start each week, I look at this list, I look at my monthly layout, and I just kind of slot things in. So like things are getting checked off as I go. For a lot of people have asked me about this list and are like, is it like big enough? Do you have enough room for it? And as you can see, I'm halfway through the month, and I'm basically halfway through this page. I added a lot of it at the beginning, and then these ones are the ones that I've added as I've gone through the month. I think it's fine if I end up needing more items, more space for a list. Maybe I'll just add a sticky on top. But I do think it's important to keep it in one place. I think that sometimes we just kind of have this feeling that we're really busy and we have a lot to do. But the truth is that we don't have a lot to do. We're just not doing it. And we're constantly like beating ourselves up about that fact. So this, I think, is also very calming because I realize actually the list is not that long. I just need to fit those things in. I'm not going to spend a lot of time showing you my stuff, but this is mostly like my big deliverables for work. I'm going to open on a page here so you don't have to look at my list, but this is when I was still on vacation, so I didn't do like a full layout, but I do, I really wanted to use these daily pages um, to kind of create like a daily captain's log or just like a little bit of record of what I did that day or like what my kind of like take on that day is. This is something that I've wanted to do for so long. My grandfather, who has passed away, but he was 100 years old, and he journaled every single day in his life. He used these teeny tiny weekly planners, and he would use a little section for each day to just like write like what he did, what he ate for breakfast, if he saw a friend or whatever. It was just very kind of basic. It was not reflective. It was more like documenting. So I just always loved that. And I also thought that it's a way to kind of um, keep some notes about your days that are not necessarily the morning pages kind of like emotional dump that makes me sound so complaining and pathetic. Like this is more matter of fact, and it's just kind of like cool and grandpa like. I really like it. So um this is sort of how I do that. And now I'm like back at work. So what I do for my daily page is I write the biggest priorities for the day, and then I use the bulk of the page to log what I'm doing, tasks on projects mostly, throughout my workday. And then I have a little bit of space at the bottom for daily reflection. I, as you will see in the next few pages, I kind of experimented with different colors, different ways to like organize my task tracker. I I'm trying to like add minimal decoration as I go along. And I think that finally here I got to like a way of organizing the page that feels neat and fun to me. So, you know, less like this blue color is called Oriental blue and it's gorgeous to me, but not in this Hobonichi. It's too high contrast to my eye in these pages. So I decided to switch to these kind of more pale muted highlighters and these more kind of low intensity colors for the actual writing. And I also found out that I needed more space for that daily reflection since this is becoming kind of like my main way to journal every day. Look how cute she is. Um, these 2 pages are weekend pages, so Saturday and Sunday, and I had a little bit more time to write, so I wasn't logging my Sunday. I mostly honestly do this so that I can do my timesheet. If you worked at an agency or if you worked in a law firm or anywhere where you needed to do time reporting, you know how annoying that is. So like that's how I'm doing it, and then I go back and do my timesheet in our system. But this is like, you know, top 3 things that I'm trying to hit that weekend, and also just reflection with some cute stickers. I used that highlight color that I was showing you, the red, to kind of draw attention to a section. So I'm writing here like what I'm reading. Cute, right? So simple. And this is yesterday, Monday. So now here I'm doing the pale beige with the brown. I'm like, oh girl, you finally got it. Okay, so that's why I have this one. And if I'm going to be using the gray one, the gray marker, I will use the gray pen. And I think that's going to be the best. Yesterday, and now today. So before the end of the day, I will finish completing my log, and then I will complete my daily reflections, and I will maybe use my sticker. So just like add a couple of pieces of interest here. And that's going to be it. This is the Moomins pencil board, I think this is called, to kind of, as a ruler to like draw these and these. And I don't put the pencil board under my page, but I saw somebody showing that if the pages feel really bouncy to you, having that pencil board under your writing hand actually creates a little bit of stability too. So that I thought was a really great tip. You should give it a try if this feels too soft for you to write on. And then the very last thing I wanted to show you in this journal is the last page. So I have a stack of like Paper Republic notebooks that has like my reading journal, my TBR notebook, and a reading log. That's how I wanted to keep track of what I'm reading. And then I was kind of flipping through this journal and discovered these empty pages. And I thought, actually, how cool would it be to just keep stacking up the planners and each planner to have like just that reading list at the end of the year. I may just do a little bit of double accounting and just keep it here and in a dedicated reading log notebook. I haven't decided yet, but that's an easy thing to kind of go back and forth on. So for now, I'm doing it here, 2026 reading, the little lady with her book. I have talked about keeping that manual reading list before, and I stand by it. I think it's amazing. So as you can see, it's really coming together. It really works with my life, and for most of my days, this is the only notebook, the only planner that I use. And then I bring this to work when I go into the office. I bring this to work with my work notebook, and this is just these are just my running notes throughout the day. I start each page with a date stamp. Thank you, Nikki, for introducing me to these. The red ink is my my personal innovation, and I'm just obsessed. And this is just, I'm just like taking notes and doing whatever my things are. But as I said, most days it's just the Hobonichi Cousin and this. And the fact that I'm able to journal in the Cousin really kind of gives a lot of peace to my brain, because I can do that even when the day is busy and I don't have time for like a proper journaling session. And this kind of scratches that itch and makes me feel calm and feel like I took a moment to reflect on my day. I'm not just going go, go, go. So if you feel like Hobonichi is like too much, like you really are um, like attracted to these pages because the paper, I don't know, like I love it. It's just so nice to on the touch for me. Um, but you feel like it's like maybe I don't know that too restrictive or like too pretty for you and like you don't think you can make it, like you can maintain it. I really hope that my pages have kind of shown you like a way to do like to use a Hobonichi planner in a very functional way and just add a little bit of fun and whimsy to it. Um, so that like you get that kind of fun dopamine hit from it as well. And that is the video, dear friends. Let me know what you think.